The Luncheon, by Somerset Maugham. It was 20 years ago, in the days when I was still young, poor, and proud of being called a writer, when a letter came to me, a letter that began a story I would never forget. A lady had read my books, the letter said. She admired my work deeply and wanted to meet me. Would you give me the pleasure of a little luncheon at Foyot's one day, she wrote. Foyot's. The most expensive restaurant in Paris, a place where senators dined. I had never dreamed of stepping inside it. Yet I was flattered. I was young, and vanity is the luxury of youth. So I said yes. When I arrived, she wasn't young, and not very pretty. She greeted me warmly, saying, "I never eat more than one thing for luncheon." "What will you have then?" I asked, trying to sound confident while praying she'd choose something cheap. She thought for a moment. "I think I'll have salmon." Salmon. At Foyot's. That cost as much as my entire week's budget. And yet, that was only the beginning. She ordered caviar, just a little to start. Champagne, just one glass. Asparagus, they are so delicious this time of year. Ice cream, coffee, and finally, the most expensive fruit on the menu, peaches. And every time, she said the same thing. "I never eat more than one thing for luncheon." I watched the waiter bring dish after dish. My heart sank with every plate. I ordered the cheapest item, a small mutton chop, and refused everything else, pretending I wasn't hungry. But inside, I was dying. When the bill came, I could hardly breathe. It was enough to ruin me for the month. I paid it, and walked out into the street, wondering what I would eat for the rest of the days to come. For the next several weeks, I lived on nothing but coffee and a small roll each morning. I told myself it was worth it, for literature, for the experience. But secretly, I promised, never again. And then, many years later, I saw her again. She had grown large, very large, and heavy, too. She nodded to me kindly, without recognizing the young man she had once ruined for a month. And as I looked at her, I smiled to myself. I had my revenge at last. She had eaten my youth, but it was no longer beautiful. That day, I learned a simple truth. Never be blinded by flattery. Appearances can deceive. And those who seem refined may, beneath the surface, be driven by greed. Life has its quiet ways of returning balance, even if it takes years. The Luncheon, Somerset Maugham. Moral. Beware of vanity and false appearances, they often come at a cost. Themes. Appearance versus reality. The woman pretends to be modest and restrained, but her actions reveal greed and hypocrisy. Irony. The story is filled with situational irony, especially her constant claim of, "I never eat more than one thing," while consuming a lavish multi-course meal. Human vanity and deception. Maugham subtly mocks human pretentiousness, showing how people use politeness and flattery to exploit others. Class and social pretension. The woman represents the shallow sophistication of high society, using charm to take advantage of those below her social or financial level. Moral/message. Be cautious of flattery and false appearances. People who seem refined or charming may in fact be manipulative. One should live within one's means and not be swayed by others' pretensions. The story also gently reminds readers that karma or poetic justice has its own way of balancing things, as the narrator later sees the woman suffer the physical consequences of her greed.